Welcome back to the show. As Medibank's 10 million customers are slowly learning whether their intensely personal data information has been leaked to the dark web, this morning we learn Medibank bosses will still take home their bonuses worth more than $7.3 million.
Well, it's been a big year for them. Joel Andrews is one of those Medibank victims, and he joins us live from Sydney. Joel, good morning to you.
Good morning, Karl. How are you?
Off you go, my friend. What do you think?
I'm furious. I think that it's taken a month for them to get this information out to us to say what's been released. I understand that it takes time to find these things out, but it's taken that long. They promised early on that they would act quickly because it's such a time-sensitive issue, and it feels like they have just left it up to them on their timing.
I mean, you've got the Medibank boss getting $1.1 million in bonuses last financial year. He also receives like 150% of his fixed salary in shares. I mean, I don't know if you want that at the moment, how much shares have dropped, but it's pretty tone deaf, isn't it?
Yeah, it's disgusting. To think that all of the customers out there, you've got 10 million customers, if each of them have to pay for their own software to do data protection and all of that, their losses to them are around $100 each. You've got about a significant loss to each person, and they're not willing to give up their bonuses. That's completely tone deaf.
I mean, at least Alan Joyce and Qantas had the decency during the pandemic to freeze bonuses with their executive team. But the chief, David Kosgar, and getting that 1.1, as Ali points out, the share price has gone down $1 a share. So on that scale, it's not serving shareholders. We know that it's going to cost Medibank, it could be in excess of $100 million to sort this mess out. It's a failure across the board, and they're giving themselves bonuses. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's completely tone deaf. And with the Alan Joyce and politicians, both took a hit during COVID, and to be in line with what with the expectations of the public. But Medibank have harmed all of these people, and absolutely no sympathy towards them.
I mean, I don't know how you fail customers on this level and then somehow think it's okay to get a bonus.
But even the delay in letting some people know that their data had been leaked. I mean, you found out 2 days ago that that you'd been compromised. How about you, Joel? When did you find out that your information and data had been leaked?
So the first notice that I had been given was on Saturday, and that was from AHM because I'm a member of AHM for my extras cover, and then on Monday from Medibank. And it was, again, listed the things that have been released, and there was absolutely no... the messaging was quite light. I don't think there was any real thought behind what was written. It was kind of more to protect them, I think. They didn't want to commit to anything for the customers.
Yeah. Look, I just think it's disgusting. I mean, this is so tone deaf. It's one of the most tone deaf things I've seen a corporation do in Australia in a long, long time. Appreciate your time today. I mean, given the details that have been leaked, and we know that these companies can be targeted and there's only so much you can do, but the sensitive nature of these details that were leaked, especially with women, I mean, and then to go and award yourself a bonus, I mean, what have they actually done successfully? I don't know.
A whole lot. Nice to see you both. Mal and Deary, they're keeping their bonuses worth more than $7.3 million. Pretty ordinary.
Well, the timing is not good at all, is it really, Ali? I mean, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Australians who've been impacted in these recent weeks with Medibank and in terms of their data breaches. And we certainly, and I'd like to just reiterate to those customers that we're doing everything that we can at our level to find out what's happened. But this does not look good, Ali.
No, I mean, Jim, the argument here is that bonuses won't be reconsidered until after an external review of the attack next year. I mean, does that fly with anyone?
No, they haven't read the room. And that's the bottom line here, is that I think it's as Mal and Deary says, you know, it's poor timing. I mean, You've got hundreds of thousands of customers whose information has been compromised, and you've got executives going and getting a bonus. No, bad look. Between Optus and Medibank, been really poorly handled. The communication's been ordinary, and certainly now to get bonuses in the current environment, absolutely, it's just totally unacceptable, and it's appalling the look, especially for those customers who are now anxiously awaiting exactly what's on the dark web, what information has been compromised. Poor form.
I mean, some of this information, as we know, is so deeply personal. Some people are still only finding out about it this week as to whether or not their data has been leaked, and I don't know, it's incredibly tone deaf.
Why has it taken so long? Like, this is a hack that happened last month, and they're only finding out now. How about spend the millions of dollars that they're paying the executives in bonuses on actually improving their cyber security? That might be a good start.
And that itself is going to cost about up to $150 million, they're saying. Hey, let's talk Donald Trump, because he has made it official. He is running for president again, making the announcement in a pretty opulent room in Mar-a-Lago, surrounded by family, reporters, and guess what? Who's that? That's Australia's richest person, Gina Reinhart. Hey, Malandiri, you'd be pretty excited about the possible return of Trumpy as president, right?
I like the way you put that, Ali. Look, it's a democracy, right? I mean, is it any surprise, seriously? I mean, we've always heard that he's talked about it. This certainly was no surprise. I just know that even with the recent elections, midterm elections in the US, everyone thought with the Republicans that they should have been right up there, and they weren't. That probably gave him more of a draw card to put his hand up. But, you know, the US is a democracy, and clearly we'll be watching. But can I just point out, though, Ali, one of the first things we've done, and certainly through Senator Penny Wong and even with the Prime Minister's visit with the G20, is to reset our relationships right across the world. And we'll no doubt be watching closely what happens in the US.
Hey, at least the next 2 years won't be dull, right, up until the election. Hey, I just want to get to this one before we go, because in news that will surprise no one, Aussies are drinking well before they turn 18. So what might surprise you, though, is 40% of the 14 to 17-year-olds drinking underage are being supplied the booze by their parents. Jim.
Well, you know, it's one of those things where I think parents are being told in this new campaign that the fact that the numbers are decreasing of underage drinking, but parents are being told, despite the pressure of kids, it's okay to say no. I mean, I came through a household. I remember my mother, Mary Lou, sitting around the dinner table and giving us a glass of, giving us a tipple of wine as a 15, 16-year-old. I don't think that's any harm. But I think as far as peer group pressure and as far as, basically saying it's, for parents, the pressure on parents to go and actually supply their kids with booze, it's okay to say no. And we certainly did that with our two boys, and I feel very comfortable with that. But I think having the odd tipple and sitting around and saying, right, it's better than actually going out in the park with mates on a Saturday night and getting proverbially drunk. I think certainly the numbers are on the decrease, but for parents this morning, it is okay to say no.
Malandiri, I debated this one with my mates over the weekend about one of my mates with a 16-year-old wanting her mum to buy her booze for a party. It's tricky, right? And I think, maybe giving them a try of alcohol at home is different to that scenario. The question is,
look,
what do you think?
Absolutely, Ali. Clearly, as Jim says, a bit of a taste at home while you're just sitting around the dinner table. But this is a different situation. We are seeing way too many young people caught up with alcohol. And look at the time of year that we're hearing this data come through. It's the end of school year. We're going to see schoolies everywhere. I'm here in Brisbane. No doubt the Gold Coast will be full of young people coming here. We've got to make sure our country and our young people are aware of just how alcohol has a negative impact, and don't rush it.
Hey, look, just speaking there of being on the Goldie, right, and booze, we're hearing this morning that locals want to ban Schoolies on the Goldie, Malandiri.
Well, look, I'll be down there today and I will report back firsthand, Ali, to see what I hear, OK?
I know, good luck. I remember doing Schoolies back...
I don't know how they're going to stop that.
I was,
I'm still getting over it.
Runs on the beach early in the morning is what I was doing.
Yeah, I was Schoolies on the Gold Coast, because I was brought up on the Gold Coast, but I had Schoolies on the Gold Coast. I'm still getting over it. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I mean...
It's a little triggering, this discussion.
Can we just do that, please? I'm just getting over it.
I'd love to be running on the beach.
Good stuff, Karl.
G'day, it's Ali.
And Karl.
Thanks for watching the Today YouTube channel.
Subscribe now for brand new videos every day and exclusive bonus clips.
Ali, say please.
Please? Why?
Please? I don't know.